How have I not made a thriller reading vlog yet? That is literally one of my favorite genres. What am I doing? I have had a YouTube channel for 2 months now, and I haven't done a thriller vlog. We are going to rectify it right now. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jules, and I am doing a thriller reading vlog. So I am going to be doing a Darcy Coates reading vlog. So I have 2 backlist books and 2 newer releases, and newer as in 2023 is when they were released. So let's chat real quick about what I'm going to read. So I've only read one Darcy Coates book, and it was The Haunting of Ashburn House, and I really enjoyed that. I gave that 4 stars, and that was and I read it in 2022, and that was a book club pick for Gabby's Book Troop. And since then, I have just wanted to read more of her books. So I'm planning on doing a few different vlogs reading all of her books. So for this vlog, I picked out 4 books. I have 2 of them that are first in a series, and 2 of them that are just standard novels. 2 in a series are actually the backlist books. So the first one is Voices in the Snow. This is the Black Winter series, and this was published in 2020. And then I have The Whispering Dead. This is the Gravekeeper series. This was published in 2021. And then the other 2 I'm going to read are the newer releases. I have Dead of Winter. This was published in July of 2023. And then I have Where He Can't Find You, and this was published in November of 2023. I think what I'm going to do is just work my way from the oldest to the newest. So that would have me starting with Voices in the Snow. So I will give a synopsis of each book before I read it, and then I will give you my thoughts and my star ratings on them. Claire remembers the cold. She remembers abandoned cars and children's toys littered across the road. She remembers dark shapes in the snow and a terror she can't explain. And then nothing. When she wakes, aching and afraid, in a stranger's gothic home, he tells her she was in an accident. He claims he saved her. Claire wants to leave, but a vicious snowstorm has blanketed the world in white, trapping them together, and there's nothing she can do but wait. Sounds intriguing. I'll be back with some updates. Before work. I have been playing around with my angle to try and get the best lighting. I was going to record in my living room, but it's darker in there, and my husband has 3D printers going, and they are so loud, so there's like a whirring noise in the background. So anyway, I'm here back in my office in my spot. Voices in the Snow. I finished this last night in bed, so it was a pretty quick read, and it was okay. I feel like I use that word a lot on books that are just okay. I don't think this is the type of book for me, especially with this being in a series. I am not going to continue in this series. So they have a bit of an argument, and she leaves. She's like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go get my car. And she's trying to find the, her radio that's in her car. She gets to her car, but then there's things in the woods that attack her again. She was already attacked once. So when she gets to her car, her memories come back. So she remembers why she was on the road in the middle of the storm. She was going to go get her aunt and go to her sister so they could bunker down together, because her sister has like a bunker. So she's on her way back, running, you know, trying to fight these things off. I'm not going to say what they are, but they're a type of monster. And he finally, because he had not been seeing things that she was seeing, so he finally believes her that there's something. And they make it back to the mansion, and these things are somehow getting into the mansion. This mansion, like I said, it's like a 30-room mansion. It's huge, and it has secret passageways. These things are in the house. They're attacking them, and it's very apocalyptic. I will tell you that. So something happened. That's why all the people were evacuating during this storm. Something happened to these people in all these areas. If you read the synopsis of the second book, it says that her sister ends up reaching out, and she has to decide, is she going to stay in the mansion for herself, or is she going to try and venture out and go get her sister? Anyway, I don't really like apocalyptic books. I'm going to give this a 3-star because, like I said, it was okay. But it's not keeping me intrigued enough for me to want to continue in it. Homeless, hunted, and desperate to escape a bitter storm, Kira takes refuge in an abandoned groundskeeper's cottage. Tucked away at the edge of a cemetery, it's surrounded on all sides by gravestones, some recent, some hundreds of years old, all suffering from neglect. And in the darkness, she can hear the unquiet dead whispering. The cemetery is alive with faint, spectral shapes led by a woman who died before her time, and Kira, the only person who can see her, has become her new target. Determined to help put the ghost to rest, Kira digs into the spirit's past life with the help of unlikely new friends and discovers a history of deception, ill-fated love, and murder. So I literally know nothing about this yet. I've only read one chapter. And she's in a graveyard, which it says, and she's being chased by somebody, and she winds up at this like priest's cottage, and he hides her in the closet. That's where we're at. I'll be back with updates. So I am back with updates. I'm on page 138, so I'm about 50% through this. So the book starts with her waking up in this graveyard, and again, she doesn't know who she is. So this is the second book now where they've woken up with amnesia. I don't know about anybody else, but I literally know nobody who has ever had amnesia. Like, why is this trope so used? Especially by the same author. Anyway, so apparently she's homeless right now because she doesn't know who she is. So she's at this priest. He was hiding her in the closet while these people were chasing her. So he has set her up in like the groundskeeper's cottage that's not being used. So she's been exploring the graveyard. She sees this ghost of this old lady who obviously looks like she's been murdered. And so she's trying to figure out like why she can see her and like help her figure out what she wants. And apparently this town is really small. So like everybody knows everybody. So they're kind of looking at her weird, like, who are you and why are you here? She figured out who the lady was by finding her grave marker. And there's a history, there's a story about her murder. So hopefully I get a good chunk of this read and maybe even finished by tonight. So I'll let you know. But I had some packages that came in the mail. It's obviously stuff I ordered. I'm constantly losing my earbuds. Like all the time. So these are the kinds that I use. They're JLab, and they're like 24 bucks. So they're not expensive at all, but they have different colored cases, and like I've gotten different ones because if I find the ones I've lost, then I don't want the same color. So I literally have like this color. I bought a red case. I lost them within like a week of having them. I have a light purple one. I just saw them the other day. I don't know where they're at. So anyway, I bought today 2 new ones. So I ended up getting a black pair and a teal colored pair. Then my second package came today. You guys are gonna laugh. Don't laugh. This is the biggest book of the month box. This month had a lot of good picks. So I'm just gonna share with you what I got since you're already in here and I'm vlogging. Look how pretty it is. I got Annie Bot. I am not, this sucker is not that big. Let's see. How many pages? Ooh, tiny words in there, man. I was about to say it's not very big, but the words are small. 131 pages, but dang, that's small, tight. Anything robot related, I'm usually like not interested in, but this sounds really good. And I actually think this year I'm going to try and get out of my comfort zone and read some things that I don't normally read. I got Kill for Me, Kill for You, thriller. Usually the books I get from Book of the Month, I pick the thrillers just because. I got Listen for the Lie. And then I got Wayward. I got Murder Road. This is actually 2 of my book clubs I'm doing. This is their pick for next month. This last book. This just sounds ridiculous to me. Like everybody's talking about this. I'm actually going to do a vlog where I read a couple books. This is going to be one of them. I'm going to read 2 books. And they're books that I said I would never pick up because they just don't sound interesting. But when I hear people talk about them, I'm having a case of FOMO big time. The other book that's going to be in that vlog is Tomorrow, Tomorrow, Tomorrow. So anyway, so if you want to see me read either of those 2 books, I'm going to have a vlog for it. Don't know when, but it'll be out sometime. I'm so happy. Look at all these books. I love books. I think I'm going to go tonight. So I may put this in my vlog too. There is a store here called Cargo Largo. It's literally like a warehouse type place. I don't know. It's cheaper stuff. It's new, but it's cheaper stuff. And it like rotates like all the time. So there's always different stuff. But they have tons and tons of books. And I'm like, why have I not gone there in forever? Like I don't ever go there. Just because it's like stuff I don't need probably. Plus, I just don't like to shop that much. I like to shop online. Okay, I am off work and I am going to Cargo Largo to look at some books. Do I need more books? No, I don't. But I'm going anyway. And am I going to get an iced coffee on my way there? Yes, I am. I got an iced cinnamon toast crunch latte. That's pretty good. Okay, so their books were a hot mess. Express. They had a lot of books, but it's a lot of books that nobody reads. That's why they're probably there. They did have some manga and graphic novels, and there was one that I almost got, but I didn't have the first one, so I was like, never mind. I should have. Now did I realize their books were 75% off, and it was only a $5 book, so I should have got it. But I did get the Clackety. This was 82 cents. It's a new book. It's not used. It's a new book. 82 cents. So this is a middle grade book that's been on my list like forever. So anyway, I picked it up. So was it worth it? I mean, yeah, it's not too far from me, but it's like, it's one of those stores that like always has a revolving door of product. So it's like different. So like you would literally have to come all the time. It's almost like a garage sale with new stuff. And I just hate looking through stuff. I literally was looking at a book and I just like, you know, you just feel someone. I looked, the lady was like right here, like looking at something I was looking at. You're in my bubble. This is why I don't leave the house. This is why I am an introvert. Good morning. I'm back with an update. I finished this last night. It kind of fell a little flat through the middle. It wasn't bad, but I wasn't like super like, oh, this is really good. And then it picked back up. So that middle part that was kind of slow was just kind of her hanging out with these new people that she's met, and they're helping her figure out what happened to this ghost that she's seeing. She didn't tell them she sees the ghost. Obviously, she's just acting like she's very interested because she's living in the graveyard and she's interested in like what happened. They break in somewhere they're not supposed to be, and they get chased, and there's a little bit of excitement. She reveals something, and it was actually really sad. I actually almost cried, and I was like, that's awful. The pastor ends up asking her if she can see ghosts. For her being not from that town, and which we still don't know anything about that, which I don't like. So she still doesn't know who she is at the end of the book. But he says, you know, for her not living there and just the things that she was asking, like he assumes she can see. So he asks her to stay and live in the cottage in the graveyard. And basically he says, you know, he'll help the souls in the living, and then she can help after they're dead, you know. Anyway, so that's why I guess she's going to be the like ghost whisperer, which is the vibes I get from this, which I love the Ghost Whisperer. It's one of my favorite series. So it does read kind of young. It doesn't say it's a YA, but it reads kind of like a YA, but it's very young. But actually, I think I'm going to continue in this. I was intrigued enough. So this was sitting at a 3-ish, pretty much the most of the book. And then I did go ahead and read it a 4 because I did really enjoy the ending. And I will continue. I'll probably at least pick up the second one just to see how I like it. And then, you know, if I do, I'll read all of them. And there's only 4 books in the series. So with that being said, I have to share with you guys. So I told you guys yesterday that I bought new earbuds because, you know, I'm always losing them. And that I had misplaced one recently. It was these. My daughter comes up last night and she's just holding the buds, not the case. And she goes, I found your buds in the bottom of the dryer. I said, what? So apparently I had this whole thing in my, because I'll carry this around in my pocket of my jammy pants, my leggings, whatever I'm wearing. Apparently I put my bud back in and stuck in my pocket, and then, you know, changed clothes. And then when I scooped up my laundry, so these went through a wash cycle and a dry cycle, and they still work. So that's pretty impressive. I just had to share that with you guys. All right, I'm going to move on to my third book in this vlog. Can we take a second to look? You guys can't see this, but like, okay, so it's got like the little strings. So this is like stitched. It's a really intriguing cover. Abby Ward lives in a town haunted by disappearances. People vanish, and when they're found, their bodies have been dismembered and sewn back together in unnatural ways. But is it the work of a human killer or something far darker? She and her younger sister have lived by the strict set of rules designed to keep them safe, which is why it is such a shock when Hope is taken. Desperate to get her back, Abby tells the police everything she knows, but they claim their hands are tied. With every hour precious, Abby and her friends are caught in a desperate game of cat and mouse. They have to get Hope back, quickly, before too much of her is cut away, and before everything they care about is swallowed up by the darkness waiting in the tunnels beneath the home they thought they knew. Don't walk alone or the Stitcher will find you. Don't stay out late or the Stitcher will take you. Don't close your eyes or the Stitcher will remake you. This sounds so good. I love a good serial killer book. Okay. I have an update. I was getting a snack. I feel like my battery's gonna die. I am on page 150. This book is so good. Like, way better than the other 2 that I read. So, basically we're following the kids in the town, in this small town. Like, everybody, like, doesn't stay out after dark. They know that bodies are going to go missing and bodies are going to be found. And when those bodies are found, they're going to be stitched back together. Like, different parts are stitched together. So you may have like a couple people's bodies that are stitched together to form whatever, and they're just found. And like, the town thinks that they know who the killer is, but they never have any proof and they can't catch him. They also kind of feel like they don't know if it's a him. Like, he's the only suspect, and if it's not him, then could it not be an actual person? Like something, I don't know, like paranormal, because it says that like things happen when bodies are going to be found or someone's going to be taken. Like, things happen to people. Like, people feel a certain way. Electronics stop working. And so it kind of seems a little sus. I don't know. But anyway, it is so good. I'm really enjoying it. So I will be back with more thoughts when I have, oh, but I did want to share, look at this. Like, in the, in between the chapters and the parts, it has like little graphics. says long red thread, someone's dead. And like, so like if it finds like the threads in the woods, then they're gonna find parts of a body. In between this, it's not between the chapters, it's like the sections or whatever. But how fun is that? I love the cover. I love the little graphics that they've thrown in there. Anyway, I'm loving it. I hope I can finish this tonight because I just want to sit down and just burn through this. I don't want to put it down. Okay, you guys, it is late. I'm about to go to bed, but I wanted to update. I finished this book. This was so good. So good. I'm kind of sad now that I didn't save this one for last because I feel like it's gonna be the best. The main characters are like in high school. So it says that the reading age for this is like 14 to 18, I think. So young adult. But it doesn't really read like a young adult. I mean, it does because of the characters are in high school, but it's creepy AF, okay? I didn't want to put this down, but I also got I had some anxiety. It was scary. So Abby's sister ends up getting taken, which we know this from the back of the book. So they're trying to figure out where she could be. They sneak into the guy's house that they think it is, and cops end up getting called. They take them out and they're like, you can't just be going out and breaking in people's houses. And it totally gives like Black Phone vibes, but also like The Descent vibes, and also Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes, which I love all of those movies. It's good. It's good. 5 stars, hands down. Go pick it up. I'll be back tomorrow with my last book. When Krista joins a tour group heading deep into the Rocky Mountains, she's hopeful this will be her chance to put the ghost of her past to rest. But when a bitterly cold snowstorm sweeps the region, the small group is forced to take shelter in an abandoned hunting cabin. Despite the uncomfortably claustrophobic quarters and rapidly dropping temperature, Krista believes they'll be safe as they wait out the storm. She couldn't be more wrong. Deep in the night, their tour guide goes missing, only to be discovered the following morning, his severed head impaled on a tree outside the cabin. Terrified and completely isolated by the storm, Krista finds herself trapped with 8 total strangers. One of them kills for sport, and they're far from finished. As the storm grows more dangerous and the number of survivors dwindles one by one, Krista must decide whom she can trust before this frozen mountain becomes her tomb. So it is already almost noon and I haven't started my book yet. So it's Friday, I'm working. It's actually busy today, so usually between calls I try and read or watch YouTube videos. And so today, while I've been in between my calls, my after call work, I've been watching YouTube. So on my laptop, I'm actually finding new booktubers. Well, new to me, they may not be new, because I always like finding new bookish friends. So if you know somebody that you recommend, let me know. I'm hoping to get to this book today. I'll do some reading tonight. Obviously tomorrow is Saturday. I usually read. I'll get back to you, let you know. Okay, I'm doing a quick update before bed. So I did sprints tonight on Hannah's page with Summer. And I got to page 118, so I'm like 35% in. I had to stop it though because they were talking about NetGalley arcs that they needed to read, and I was like, oh man. I was like, I have a couple that I had requested that I need to get read, so I paused that and was reading those tonight. So that's why I'm not further into this. So it starts with the main character, Krista. It starts with her and her boyfriend by themselves, like up walking on these snowy mountains, and there's an accident and she gets hurt, and then it goes to her waking up in this cabin. So that's the present time, and then it goes back 6 hours earlier, and is all of them on the bus with these other people, and it kind of introduces these other people that are on this tour guide with them. So they're all in this cabin, and people just start getting killed. So that's kind of all we're really at now, is a few people have died. They don't know who's doing the killing. I mean, it's your basic isolation, snowstorm, killer type of book. I will come back with an update tomorrow. Good morning, friends. I am back with my final update on Dead of Winter. So today is Sunday, and I finished it yesterday afternoon. I just was busy and didn't have time to do an update yesterday. I am going to give this 3.5. I don't really do half stars like I've mentioned, but like sometimes I'm just on the fence. But overall, like, it was an enjoyable read. I just don't know how I feel about isolated winter storm books. It maybe had too many characters. That might have been like too many people to follow, because like people are dying and then they're going over like who's missing, and at some points I'm like, well, who just died and who was this? So I would have had to have done a character list, which I don't ever do. Like, if the book has too many characters, I'm usually not a fan. So basically, it just continued with everybody getting killed and then trying to figure out who was doing it. So something happened that they are all there, not by accident. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. There was a twist at the end that I didn't see coming, so that was good. But it's like right at the very end. But I also don't like how it wrapped up. Like, I don't feel like it was a cohesive ending. Like, I feel like there could have been more. About the whole time I read about a 3, but the twist at the end and the goriness throughout kind of bumped it up to the 3.5 for me. A recap of all the books I read for this vlog and their ratings. So we had Voices in the Snow, 3 stars. Dead of Winter, 3.5 stars. And these two, I probably shouldn't have picked these two in the same vlog because they were both isolated winter ones. One was more paranormal apocalyptic, the other was just serial killer vibes. So they did have some differences. And I read the first one and then the last one, so kind of spaced them apart. But it was too much isolated winter storm in one vlog. Then I did The Whispering Dead, gave this 4 stars. And I'm going to continue in this. I'm at least going to read the second one. And then the best book of the whole vlog, 5 stars. I suggest you go pick this up. I hope, if you haven't read Darcy Coates, that you at least give her books a chance. Now, her very first book I ever read was a haunted house book. These were not like that at all. So she does have more haunted house books, and I actually own a couple of them. So I am going to do another Darcy Coates vlog reading her haunted house books. I don't know when that'll be, but that will be a future vlog. Has anyone read any of these books? Did you like them? Did you hate them? Do you not like Darcy Coates if you've tried her before? Are there any authors that you would recommend that are similar to Darcy Coates? I will say her books do read very young. So even if they're not mentioned as a YA, they read kind of like YA. But I don't mind that. I love YA books. That is a wrap on my vlog. So until my next video, friends, be yourself, be awesome, be kind. Bye.